subscribers all over the world. You already know it's your boy Mikey Savage 21, and today I'm bringing you another segment of Testify Talks. And today's Testify Talks, once again, is going to focus solely on you. So stick around for this video. Alright, so I debated whether or not I wanted to do a full-length podcast on this or not through Spreaker, but I decided to just do this more of as a short little warm-up segment to some podcasts eventually that I will be doing. But today we're going to be focusing on you specifically, and we're going to be talking about accomplishing your goals and achieving them. Now, I'm not going to give you the same spiel that you've heard. You've heard people talk about, how to accomplish your goals and how you need to achieve them. I'm just going to personally just offer up a few little things that I myself try to do when I want to accomplish goals. And at this current moment in time, there are 4 goals that I want to achieve. Number one of the things that I'm really passionate about is, again, I'm passionate about film reviews and just movies in general. I love to talk about movies, and I would love to make a career out of doing that. So in order for me to do that, I have to essentially establish myself as a film aficionado, as you could say. So what I do is I go to movies, I post up my reviews. Sometimes they're written reviews, and sometimes they're actual talking reviews like you see on this YouTube channel. And one day I have goals of maybe moving out to New York or maybe moving out to California to take that a step further and maybe join up with one of the bigger YouTube channels, maybe Collider or Screen Junkies. Hey, maybe Schmoes will let me intern with them. I don't know. But, essentially, I'm passionate about that. So, again, how do I accomplish my goal? Well, first off, I talk about it. I go and actually watch films, and I sit there and I watch the movie. I'll initially go in with, fan eyes, and then I'll go in with lowered expectations, or review eyes as I call them. But a lot of times, and most recently, when I see films, I go in straight away with review eyes so I can go ahead and get reviews out for you guys. Then if I really liked it from my review eyes, I'll go back in and rewatch it again. So for those of you out there who are passionate about films or talking about films or even reviewing films in general, first thing you got to do is make the necessary steps that you need to take to start doing film reviews, whether it's on camera, off camera. Find some way to do it. Hey, blogging is still in. You can easily start you up a Tumblr account, which is free, and just post your thoughts about certain movies, and eventually it might catch on with other people as well. Okay, another thing that I am passionate about is music. And I have been into music for years and years now, and I've actually been rapping for several years as well. And I know, sometimes it seems like my passion or my drive for music has gone down. I want you guys to know that it has not gone down whatsoever. So, my advice to all those musicians who are out there, whether it be rappers, singers, even dancers, or actual musicians like percussionists, guitar players, keyboard players, whatever instrument you play, if you're passionate about that, then what do you need to do to accomplish your goals of possibly being a professional musician? Practice, practice, practice. Like they used to always tell us in high school and band. Practice, practice, practice. You have to practice your craft, and you have to hone your craft, because there are other musicians out there who have the same goals that you do and essentially want to achieve those goals. And so sometimes it becomes a little bit of a foot race. So in turn, what you have to do is you have to constantly push yourself, and you have to practice. If you're a rapper, you have to work on your craft. You can't just sit there and rap every once in a while. I know for me, one of the things that I get into is I won't rap for a few weeks to a month, and then I try to come back in with something, and then I'm just like, that didn't sound good. So I have to constantly do it each and every week. I have to constantly write lyrics. I have to constantly do vocal stuff so I won't lose that spark. And so again, the same thing can be said about anyone who wants to be a dancer. If you're a dancer, you constantly need to be at least dancing at least once a day, coming up with new moves and coming up with unique ways to essentially show off your dancing abilities. So with those, when it comes to, again, musicians and, performing and everything, you have to work on that. Because if you're passionate about those and you have goals and aspirations of being a professional one day, then you have to keep honing your skills. All right, so this next thing, again, leads into ministry. And I'm very passionate about ministry, specifically youth ministry. And this actually kind of ties in with what I talked about previously when it comes to rapping. Now, a lot of ways that I'm able to reach out to the youth is through my rapping ability. That's exactly how I first started out when I was serving at Destiny. I started off as a volunteer, and eventually Rick put his trust in me and let me get on stage, and I started rapping each and every week. And so eventually I started building a bond with certain students, and then students who like rap music or just like music in general, they're like, oh, okay, so you're into music. And so now I had a way to actually sit down and talk and engage with you students because I'm passionate about music and ministry. So at the same time, I'm using music and ministering to people through that as well. So if you have aspirations of being a youth minister or being a minister in general, whether it be a podcast minister, a minister who travels the world ministering from church to church, if you have aspirations of that, what do you have to do to accomplish your goals of being a professional in that field? You have to have a relationship with him and constantly drawing in from him. You have to read your Bible. You have to get your strength from him. You have to meditate on his word daily, study it backwards and forwards, write it down. The steps can go on and on, but when you achieve those steps and when you do those steps, you'll be able to better prepare yourself for what's to come as a minister. Because again, being a minister is not an easy task. Just like any job in general is not necessarily an easy task. And so getting to the last thing that I'm passionate about, and again, this video is not about me. Again, it's all about you guys. And I'm just giving you some examples of what I'm passionate about as a way to inspire all of you to go out there and accomplish and follow your dreams. And so the last thing that I'm personally passionate about and that I have a drive for is what you're on right now, YouTube. I love YouTubing. I would love to do this professionally. I would love to just quit my job one day and just do YouTubing professionally. But right now, that's not an option. But if I do want to do that, what can I do? Well, okay, of course, I have to build myself a fan base. I have to put out daily content for you all to watch and enjoy. But at the same time, it has to be enjoyable content that you actually want to see. I can't just put up videos just to put up videos and you aren't liking them and you aren't responding to them. That's why I haven't posted certain videos in a long time, because I saw, okay, you guys aren't really interested in that. Let me move on to something different instead. So for all of you out there who want to be YouTubers, and again, when you start up your channel, don't do it for views, don't do it for likes, don't do it for a big following. Do it because you're passionate about it and you want to do this professionally. Because if you go in with that mindset saying, I want to get big fast, as they call it, I want to be one of those big YouTubers and I want to do it quick and fast, you're going to burn yourself out. So of course, YouTubers, if you want to do professional video photography, or if you want to do it how I'm doing it, which is kind of podcast style, where you have a picture or a graphic behind you and you're just talking and doing audio only, what I suggest to you is maybe one video a week, maybe two at the most. Just keep constantly building yourself up and keep constantly getting better and better at what you do when it comes to your vocal skills. I know if you compare how I used to talk on these videos compared to where I am now when it comes to talking, it's like a complete 180. And I'm still getting used to actual on-camera stuff, but I can say my on-camera presence has gotten a lot better and a lot stronger. And why? Because I constantly practice and I have goals and aspirations of one day being a professional YouTuber. And so if I want to do that as a full-time job or a full-time gig, what do I have to do? I have to practice and I have to constantly upload content and make sure that my listeners and my watchers are actually enjoying the content, sharing it with others, and responding to it well. So with that being said, guys, we get to the ultimate question. What are your goals and how do you plan to achieve them? Again, achieving goals is not an easy task. If it's easy, then sometimes it's not necessarily worth it. You want something that you really want to work for. It's just like you have certain people who are like, okay, well, I'm going to use this person or use this specific platform and segue myself into a bigger position or a bigger spotlight and skip all the little minor stuff, as opposed to someone who starts at the bottom and works their way up to the top. Now, the person who made it up there quickly isn't going to have a good enough found respect for the position that they've been put in. But someone who's constantly started at the bottom and constantly worked their way up until they get to the top, they're going to have a newfound respect than the person who got there easily. So again, I ask you, what exactly are you passionate about? That's the first thing. And what are your goals and how do you plan to achieve them? I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you liked the video, smash the like button. It helps out the channel immensely. If you didn't like the video, then give it a thumbs down. Either way, I'd appreciate some response and feedback from you all. And let me know in the comment section below what you thought of this video and what your personal goals are and how you plan to accomplish those. And I'll make sure I have a link in the description to the other video I talked about in here in my Testify Talks video about what are you passionate about. Because this is like a part 1 and part 2 series here. They kind of tie in together. Thank you again for watching this video. I'm Mikey Savage 21 saying peace out.